We're live. We're live. Let me get Laurissa on here because we are going to have a fantastic conversation today about the FTC. So FTC compliance is something I learned about very early on, and today's conversation is just going to be so informative if you have an online business, and I'm so excited. And here she is. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to your very first live ever. We don't
Oh my
bite.
gosh, I
We're
just
so
saw, oh
excited.
my God, goodness sakes. You guys, I live in Florida. So, I'm a white girl that lives in Florida. So, I have a million freckles and frizzy hair. So, just deal with
Love your
it.
freckles, though.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hello. I'm so excited to have you here. I know that you and I met, I don't even know, like 5, 6 months ago, something like that, give or take. And I think right around the time you kind of got screwed over by some stuff. Yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
sure we'll get into that a little bit today. But, I'm pretty sure that that's when we kind of met around that time. And it's been so fun just getting to know you. And now all of a sudden, you've got some really cool things happening. And I'm really excited to share that because I think that not only the people that follow me, but the people that follow you and anybody who finds this video, this is such an important conversation, like so freaking important. Like I started learning about this in my very first little business that I had at like 19, 20 years old. So the where it has gone today blows my mind. So I'm excited to get into it. So let's start off. Who the heck are you? Tell us who you are, how you got here.
Hi. So, my name's Laurissa, and I got here like a lot of people got here. I Yeah, it was August, September of 2023. I saw this woman on Facebook. I didn't even have Instagram at the time. I saw her. Her name is Chelsea O'May. I've talked openly about her before.
Mhm.
Sorry if you hear my cats yelling. They don't like it when I kick them out. Anyway, I saw her
We're
talking
cat
about
friendly
how
here.
she was talking about this disgusting amount of money that she made, and I was like,
Like, what's a
"What?"
disgusting amount?
I think she was saying at that time she had made over $4 million, or it was over $1 million since
Mm,
January of 2023.
okay.
And I think her total amount now is around over $4 million.
Okay.
So that's an obscene amount of
Great
money. And
money.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, I saw, and I was like a lot of people. I was like,
Hmm.
is this for real? Like, okay, what is this? And she was sharing all these random, side hustles and ways to make money. And I wasn't sure if those side hustles were how she got rich or if it was some other way.
Mm,
But I couldn't find out very much without clicking on her annoying little link. And I didn't want to because
yeah.
I knew that that meant I had to buy something.
Hmm.
And so after seeing, I would save her reels and I would go and try the things that she was talking about. And I found that most of them were outdated, they weren't available anymore, or they cost more money than what
Okay.
she let on to believe. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll buy the $7 course that she was advertising at the time.
Hmm.
And that's how I got roped in. I think a lot of people got roped in with,
Hmm.
learn the exact method or learn the exact education that I used to get rich.
Yeah.
And so that's how I started. And because, I mean, I have no background with this whatsoever. So once I started learning about it, I was like, oh, affiliate marketing. Okay. And I started learning about it and seeing that, oh, this could be, this could have potential for me. I was a little disappointed that when I bought the $7 course from her, that I didn't get to actually work with her. I didn't actually ever get to
It
talk to her
wasn't
at
even her
all, which,
course either.
yeah,
So that was kind of
I mean,
the hard part. Yeah.
you buy money and I'm sorry, you pay somebody money and
Hmm.
you expect to be able to maybe talk to that person. I
Yeah.
don't know, at least that's what I thought. But anyway, then I did get roped into the $2,500 upsell because I was convinced
That was
by
a
my
lot. Yeah.
business, yeah, my business advisor that they assigned to me. I was convinced by her that, this education is worth $25,000. So paying $2,500 is actually a really good deal. And
Hmm.
you're going to be making so much money. It's not going to matter. You're going to make it back. I mean, they went
How
all
long
out
were you
and
supposed to make? make it back by? Like, did they tell you that? Like, you should make this by X amount of dollars by da 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 dates or
I
no?
mean, they didn't give specific dates,
Okay.
but they were the impression that you are left with is if you work hard and apply what you're learning, then that'll work for you.
Gotcha.
So, and with $1,000 commission for each sale, that's, you just get 10 people to join. That's $10,000 a month. That's way more
Absolutely.
than I was even like thinking
Yeah.
was possible for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I I joined and I started going through the blueprints. It was for Legendary Marketer. Um, I look back on it now, and the education that's offered by Legendary is good. It's
Hmm.
a good, decent, basic education on affiliate marketing. It's
Yeah.
not worth $2,500, but it's still informative. So
Okay.
I started to learn the concepts, and then as I'm going through the blueprints, I'm seeing that essentially the course was designed to teach you to resell the course. Because
Yes.
they keep talking about high ticket affiliate marketing, and I was
Hmm.
like, well, what companies out there are promoting high ticket items?
Yeah.
Well, they don't talk about those companies. They give
Hmm.
as examples like Amazon affiliates. Amazon affiliates doesn't do high ticket stuff. They talk about other stores like Target, Walmart, Lululemon. Those are not high ticket items for the most part.
Yes.
So I'm like, what are these high ticket items? Well, they're like, well, it's the course. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh my gosh. So you guys just want me to resell the course.
Hmm.
And that's when I finally realized whatever Chelsea was doing. That's how she was making all her money. Because if you take $4 million and you divide that by 1,000, I'm not good at math. It's like 4,000 people,
Yeah.
and she has like 760,000 followers. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, well, fine, maybe I can do this. But then I had to put everything on hold at the beginning of the year. It was a blessing in disguise because I think if my little family emergency with my daughter hadn't happened, she's okay. But
Hmm.
if that hadn't happened in January, I think I probably would have started selling,
That course.
trying to resell
Hmm.
Legendary Marketer. But I
Yeah.
had to drop everything and go hang out with her for like basically the whole month of January. And then I was tied up with her issues until about April.
Yeah.
And I was starting to get back into it. And then I got an email from Chelsea because I've been on her email
Hmm.
list. And this is in April, okay?
This is when we
And
met,
I'll
I
never forget.
think, around this time,
Yeah,
give or take. Yeah.
I, I still have the email. I'll never get rid of this email because I want to show people as proof.
Yeah.
She wrote in her email that she had just launched Digital Wealth Academy. Like it was hers.
And
And
everybody
she,
knows this now as DWA, correct?
yes,
Okay.
DWA. Yeah. She said,
Yeah.
I just launched my new thing. It's called Digital Wealth Academy or DWA. And essentially, the way that the email read was like, if you had questions about the previous thing, all the holes are going to be filled in with this course. And it's only
Hmm.
$497
Hmm.
temporarily because
Yeah.
she had
But
it listed as $597. It was on sale for $497.
mm,
And in the email, she's like, I'm not going to have it be this price again for a long, long time, like big capital O's.
you better
And I
get
was
it
like,
now.
oh,
Now's your time. Yeah.
yeah. So she did her own thing again, and it's her thing. So maybe if I buy from her again, then I'll be able to work with her again.
Hmm.
And I was wrong about that. So I gave her
Again, it wasn't her.
it. No, no. So I
I thought she was in
bought the
there
course.
somewhere.
No, she's not in the school platform at all. Suddenly,
Okay.
I'm whisked up into the school platform, and I'm now talking to two other creators of DWA, the co-creators, Rachel and Daniela. And I'm like, who are you
Yeah.
girls? I don't know who you are. Like,
So people are
what?
just buying the
Where's
courses, reselling the
Chelsea?
courses, and these are the new things that everyone, it's a thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is going on? And then, I'm going
Hmm.
through the modules, and I was like, okay, all right, um, okay, I'll try this.
Yeah.
And this is how everybody's making money. Fine, I'll try this. But it was about 2 weeks in that I started to get the ick really badly. And
Mm.
that's kind of, I think, when you and I started talking. I
Yeah.
started talking to you. I started talking to several other people who've been here for longer than a
Hmm.
minute,
Yeah.
and quickly realized what was really going on,
Yeah.
who Chelsea really was, her real reasons for leaving Legendary, what happened with Legendary Marketer. All that
Yeah.
happened while I was dealing with my
Now
family
she's
thing. So,
been on the news recently, correct? Like a
yeah.
couple
So,
months ago, give or take, because of big FTC smackdown kind of situation.
yeah, she was featured in an expose by NBC News back in March. This
Hmm.
was coincidentally right before she launched DWA in April. Not
Mm-hmm.
coincidentally. Um, so it wasn't, she was featured in it, but really it was like an expose on the whole company
Yeah.
because there were a lot of complaints about misleading marketing
Mm-hmm.
related to Legendary Marketer, where they're using those silly side hustle videos. It led to all that confusion that I
Yeah.
experienced.
Yeah.
And so the company actually got in trouble for that.
Mm-hmm.
The Better Business Bureau removed their A rating. And I haven't had much to do with it, but I do know that Dave Sharp,
Mm-hmm.
who's the founder of the company, he's
Right.
very serious about this kind of thing. And so he did what he could to try to clean up the act. And he told all of his top affiliates, including Chelsea,
Yeah.
you need to stop. We need
Mm-hmm.
to stop this. And I'm aware of this because I've talked to people that were in closed door meetings because
Gotcha.
I went crazy trying to find the
Yeah.
truth about this. So I won't say who they were, but I talked to some people who were in those meetings
Yeah.
where Dave called all his top affiliates, including Chelsea, and was like,
Yeah.
we got to stop with the side hustle videos, stop with all the stuff you're doing because
Mm-hmm.
we've got to get compliance. And a lot of people just don't know the
They
rules.
They
So,
don't. And I think, yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off. That's the issue, is they don't know the rules, that they don't even know what FTC is,
mhm,
and
mhm,
they think that this marketing style, because it actually works, is legal,
right,
right? That's the
right.
problem.
It works. It works for the wrong reasons, and that's why the
Yeah.
laws are in
Yeah.
place. And what I have since learned is
What type of
there's
people do you think it preys on?
oh, people like me that don't know any better, people who are in a bad financial situation, which is a lot of us, it's most of us.
Hmm.
I mean, everybody's kind of struggling financially
Yeah.
with how crazy everything
Yeah.
has got. I mean, peanut butter is $10 a jar, Cammy.
I
I know,
know.
first world
I know.
problem, but like,
And you know what? I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not struggling. My bills are paid, but my God, I don't got 4 million in the bank. I can tell
right.
you that. I don't have that. So I'd probably be piqued at that interest too. Like, ooh, I get it, right?
Yeah.
And that's the scary part of this.
Yeah.
And it's very scary. Like,
Yeah.
bread is $8. Peanut butter is $10.
Olive
Cereal in
oil
California
is
is like $7, right?
Yeah.
So people need the extra money. And women right now, there's so many single parents. There's so many women who want to make an extra income or bring money to the table. Or, I say that this is probably more 80% women than men in this,
Hmm.
but that's just, going off of the good 80-20 rule,
Yeah.
obviously. But I know this is a huge thing because even in network marketing, when I first started out, I learned about the FTC about that at that time. And I knew about it specifically because I was doing big presentations, like with hundreds of people in a room. I'm pitching a company, the products, how you can make extra money if you bring in this
Mhm.
person and you bring in this person. But I was very, very clear to always read the comp plan, and here's the average results. Only 1 to
Yeah.
2, 3% were making money, right? And so I knew the risk in that, and I had to be very careful, even inside of a hotel. Back then, it was hotel room presentations. Now everybody does it virtually, but that stuff, it leaks out quickly, right? So I learned that very early on. But now, I think every time there is an issue, like every time that what's the word, a violation, it's like what,
Mhm.
$43,000 per violation. It's somewhere like insanely amount of money, and some of these companies are getting slapped with multiple violations over and over. I don't
Yeah.
know what
Yeah.
Digital
Yeah.
Academy did or anything like that,
I
but
I have gone down. I went down the legendary marketer rabbit hole to get the truth about the girl that I gave money to, and then after that, I went down the compliance rabbit hole, and I'm still down in there, and
yeah.
I'm learning so much. There's so much that people do not know, and people
Hmm.
are being brought in by these big accounts, these big
Yeah.
digital marketing
Yeah.
accounts that are not teaching the rules.
Yeah.
They
It's the
themselves
get rich
probably
quick
don't know
scheme,
the
the
rules.
new way of doing it. It's a new way.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hmm.
It's so crazy to me. And I read the book Don't Say That by Anik
Hmm.
Singhal and
I
Greg
got
Christensen,
that
who
book.
is an
Yeah.
FTC compliance lawyer.
Yeah.
So a lot of these big accounts are like, I hired a lawyer. They didn't get an FTC lawyer. Most
Hmm.
lawyers don't know the
Right.
depths of the rules. Um, so Greg is a compliance lawyer, and he was Onyx lawyer when Onyx got sued Anik was a multi-million dollar CEO of a huge company that I think is like $40 million a year in revenue, never had a single like major complaint.
Yeah.
Customer satisfaction was really ridiculously high. He was obsessed with customer
Mhm.
satisfaction. He had a lawyer on staff who assured him that everything he was doing was above board. Like he was obsessed
Wow.
with it, and he got sued. And
Yeah.
he's
Wow.
like, the things that I got sued for, I didn't even know that those were rules. And
Yeah.
my lawyer that I had on staff didn't know that those were rules. And so
Hmm.
he took his pain, which was, I think, like 18 months of, he called it brutal, painful, torturous.
Hmm.
He lost about, I know it's kind of a drop in the bucket for him because he was multi-million dollar CEO, but he lost over the long term. I think he did the calculation. It was like 15 to $20 million
Yeah.
in revenue.
Yeah.
Um,
That
and
hurts the bottom line though. That's
yeah,
a big number, right? And I mean, I know the people that are watching this or on our platforms are not there yet, but um it doesn't matter if you're there
oh,
now
it
or if
doesn't.
you're just making $500 a
No,
month.
it
It doesn't
doesn't.
matter.
Because
Not at all.
the FTC is now looking at digital marketing and affiliate
Yeah.
marketing. They are looking,
Yeah.
and you can tell by looking at their press releases. All of their most recent ones deal with some form of online business. So they are
Mm-hmm.
looking at, so individual investigations in 2023 jumped up to, I can't remember the number. Um, the number of cases went down,
Yeah.
but that's because they dedicated more resources to individual investigations.
Mm.
That can sometimes take a couple of years.
Interesting.
So they're watching, they're on
Yeah.
Instagram, they're watching all
Yeah.
of this.
Well,
And
yeah, it's amazing. I actually pulled some numbers for this conversation specifically because I'm so into this stuff anyways. I'm just kind of a nerd like that. But some of the information that I found was like 1,100 different companies, multi-level affiliate, even like investment coaching firms have been targeted by the FTC, and because they're just making false, misleading earning claims.
yep,
That's it. You can make this amount of money, or I helped do this, right? Like you can't show that stuff on there. Even for me as a coach, I can't be like, I'm going to help you make $100,000. I can't do that. It's against the law. I could
mm-hmm,
probably do that, but I'm not going to be advertising it. I'm going to be
can't say it.
very like I'm going to help you with your goals and get you to that, right? And that's I think people need to reframe their verbiage very quickly. And
Yeah,
that's so many different things. That's in
oh,
their lead magnets,
yeah,
their posts, their descriptions, their videos, stories. It's out
yeah,
there,
you
you
need
know?
to do a, I call it a, you need to do a cleanse of your
Yeah.
business, and you
What
need to
should we
do
be
it now.
cleansing? Tell us all that stuff. What have you
Okay,
found?
Greg and Onik, they have in their book, they've got all the different types of things that the FTC looks at. But for, if you just want to, like, they call the Pentagon of compliance is like the top five violations.
Hmm.
It's misrepresentation, which is essentially, I mean, it sounds like just don't lie. Mm, but if you're really hyped up and excited about a product and you're not checking yourself,
Yeah.
sometimes you can over like value stack
Hmm.
it a little bit. So
Yeah.
anytime you see anyone stand store that has the little, you look at the product and it's got the little price, but then the price is crossed off and then there's a discounted
Yeah.
price next to it, that's called value stacking. And unless you
Mhm.
can prove that that product was sold at a volume, and you have to show the data to prove it,
Yeah.
sold at a volume of that original price,
To
unless you can
say it's
prove the value of that
value
product that
of
you're
two
claiming
thousand
it is,
dollars,
yeah. So
right?
if you see something that says, "Oh, get this for 2,000," like what Dave Sharp was doing, this is a $25,000 value, and you're getting it for 2,500.
Every
That
company does
that
that.
is
Every
everybody does that.
Even
Everyone.
Alex Hermosi, I have a book back here that literally teaches you how to value stack and make it so juicy. It's an irresistible offer that people can't turn down.
The only way that that's allowed is if you can prove with data that that product was sold exactly as you're selling it now
Yeah.
for that price at a large volume, a large enough volume to show that it has that value. That's what it's So that's just one of the 5 Pentagon of
Mm.
compliance. That's
That's
misrepresentation,
huge.
right?
That I see that every day, all day with every business I almost work with. Every
Yeah,
day.
I was doing
That's
it too.
insane.
I was doing it too. So it's
Yeah.
not just not lie. I mean, yeah, don't lie,
Yeah.
but also don't
Hmm.
value stack.
Yeah.
Don't give the impression that what you're selling has a greater value
Yeah.
than what it actually is.
Hmm.
Don't give the impression
Yep.
unless you can prove it
Hmm.
that it's actually discounted.
Yeah.
Don't give the impression that they're saving money unless you can prove
Yeah.
it. The next one is net impression. Net impression is, well, I'll save net impression for the last because all of these kind of fold up into net impression. But
Yeah.
so in the Pentagon, there's misrepresentation, then there's claims, and this can be not just income claims, but any kind of performance claims that are expressed or implied. So if any person that looks at your page has the impression or believes that they could get that same amount of money that you're
Hmm.
showing or have that same result, but you're not displaying the typical average result,
Yeah.
okay, then and you can't prove it. So anytime you use income claims or any kind of claim, express or implied, if it's not, sorry, got a phone call. If it's not the typical result, you can't use it. It's against the law. So
Yeah.
for
And that goes for
claims,
even customer service, right? Like even like a testimonial about what, like if you were writing me a testimonial, like Cami helped me make X amount of dollars, that's
yep,
illegal.
testimonials are like the third sort of in the Pentagon of
Okay.
compliance.
Okay.
It's the testimonials. It's the next one where the proper use of testimonials is that you have to first get a signed affidavit from the person giving permission for you to use their likeness and their
Mm-hmm.
testimonial on your page. Nobody's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Then whatever the result is that you are showing has to be the typical expected result that
Mm-hmm.
people can expect to have by purchasing your product,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if those two things are not happening, you are non-compliant.
Okay. So let me break this. Let me ask you this because I actually have a client watching this. She wrote me
Mm-hmm.
a testimonial. I have it on my website and it has nothing to do with income claims. It's about where she was when she started, before she started working with me, to today, where she is just more clear, more organized, putting her business together, things like that. There's no income claims. It's more about like the process kind of situation. Is that compliant or do I need to have her sign an affidavit?
They say that anytime you use a customer testimonial, and again, don't shoot the messenger. It's all in this book.
No, I know. Yeah.
You have to, if you use it on your page, you have to have a signed affidavit
Very interesting.
from them giving you permission. And this is not just, I'm not saying anything about your customer. This is not just
Yeah.
to protect them. It's also to protect
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
because companies get sued on the regular for
Mhm.
using testimonials without permission. Even if like everything in there is true and validated and
Yeah.
it's the typical expected results and the customer is just talking about, the benefit of the product instead of like
Hmm.
how much they gained or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
they
health and
have
wellness.
they
This
have
is like
examples in
all over
there.
health and wellness. Yeah.
Yeah, they have examples of people who sued
Hmm.
companies without because they didn't
Yeah.
get the permission. They didn't get the right permission. So,
Very
um,
interesting.
yeah. So testimonials, misrepresentations, claims. Um, there's another one that's like slipping my mind right now.
The one you were
God.
going to come back to at the end, I think.
Well, I've only covered three. Then the fourth one, I guess we'll talk about net impression because all of these lead to net impression. So net impression is whatever the overall impression that anybody who looks at your page gets. If the impression
Mm-hmm.
from any of your marketing is that they can get the result that you are showing,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't need to be from an expressed claim, it could be an implied claim. Is there any implication or are they being led to believe that it's a simple way to, in the case of the make money online industry, a simple,
Mm-hmm.
easy way to make lots of money online quickly?
Yeah.
You know, um, another one of my favorite creators, and I'm not going to say her name because I
And
love
I know
her.
you're saying online, but because I have a 15-year background in network marketing, it was treated the same way.
Mhm.
So many network marketers are underneath the same umbrella, and they're doing it, unfortunately, very wrong because they're being taught to do it wrong because those people were taught to do it wrong, right? So it's just
Yeah.
trickling on now because of digital. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm so
Yeah.
impressed with you and where this has landed. Like, let me just say, like, I know we haven't even finished yet, but I'm so impressed with where this has kind of landed specifically for you and how this is so aligned with your background and just everything else. Like, I don't think there could be a better person to be so real and authentic and just show up and tell people and warn people and help people get there,
Thank
you
you.
know? Yeah,
Thank
very
you.
honored to have you here. Like, I absolutely
Thank
love
you.
chatting with you and learning from you. I think this is just so cool. So,
Thank you.
let me ask you this. I think value stacking, and I know we kind of briefly touched on it here, but I think value stacking is probably one of the ones that most online companies are doing. You get this and this and this and this, and here's all the value pieces, right?
Mhm.
Through all of your research and your education now at this point, if they don't like if they're creating the value to go along with it and they've never had the pieces the price on it before, maybe it's just an extra freebie that they did but they're going to bundle it together. What's your opinion on that?
Oh, bundling. I mean, if
Mm-hmm.
it's your own product, I don't think there's
Yep.
anything wrong with that. If you're bundling
Mm-hmm.
your own product and the creator that you are bundling with is okay with it,
Mm-hmm.
that's okay. But just provide the value that is established. Like, just advertise the
Yeah.
price. Don't act like it's a discounted price.
Mm-hmm.
Just decide on a price and show it. Don't do what so many people are doing, where you know what I'm talking about, where they've got the
Oh,
like the original price and then it's X'd out. Don't do that.
flashed. Yeah.
Don't do that unless you can prove it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And we're not
oh, that
talking
was
about today onlys. We're not talking about like today only, 50% off. We're not talking about that. We're talking about this is what the value is of $50,000 and you're going to get it for $99. Is that
right.
right? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That is what is meant by value stacking, my understanding of it. But
Yeah.
I highly recommend that everybody get this book. And that also reminds
Mm-hmm.
me of the fourth sort of corner of the Pentagon of compliance was substantiation.
Mm-hmm.
So any of the other stuff that I just talked about is totally allowed. You can talk about income claims, you can talk about value stacking, you can do all that as long as you can prove everything,
Yeah.
literally everything with data, then it's
Mm-hmm.
okay. But I wager to guess that most of us are not able to do that. And
Most
we're
of us
not
don't know how to look for the data either to
right,
even keep it.
right. And how many people know the average expected results of somebody who purchases your product?
Absolutely.
Most of us are selling products that we didn't create. How are you going to know the average expected result of somebody purchasing it?
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
don't know, then don't
Mm-hmm.
talk about your income.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I absolutely agree with you. You know, and I think that even as a business coach, like I've been in network marketing for so long and I've seen companies go up and down. I've seen affiliate marketing, I've seen digital market, like all the different things that have kind of the waves of what have came over and people have jumped on the wave and jumped off the wave and they've
Mm-hmm.
just at the end of the day, my feeling is it's not your business, your product. And so it's a little risky just right there because you have no idea what's happening behind closed doors. Even if you're at the top of any of those companies, just like you said, like the people that were in closed rooms, like you have no idea what was happening until typically FTC comes in or they shut the company down. And then all of a sudden, the secrets are exposed, right? We all see those
Yeah.
documentaries and we're all flocked to them. And I'm going to
Yeah.
be honest with you, like little mama who's just trying to make some cookies and sell some digital online courses don't need to be exposed. Like
Exactly.
let's just do it
Let's
right. Let's just do it
just
right.
do it
And
right.
yeah.
I have a guide that's in my stand store, and I also just became an affiliate for Don't Say That, the book. So that book is
Hmm.
also in the store.
I love it.
And it's
And
seven
I have
dollars for the
both and they're phenomenal. So everybody
oh
should, if they're listening to this, should run and go get those two things. And then we're actually going to a conference as well.
yeah,
Um, when is it? Next month? October, I
October
think.
7th,
There
the
you go.
compliance
Yeah, as soon as I
market.
come back. Yeah. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
share a little bit about that, because I think that anybody who hears that, I think would be really interested in learning a little bit more about that conference. I'm going because I want to be able to help businesses and clients that I'm working with, and even for my own knowledge, just make sure if I ever create something in that level, then I'm not incompliant, right? So
Right.
share a little bit
So
about that.
it is the Compliant Marketing Summit is being hosted by Vicki Pollock, the No BS New Yorker. I don't know if people know her. If you don't know her, go check her out. Go follow her. She has been doing sales for 20 years, and she's built business. She's multiple times built a business from the ground up. She got into online social selling about a year ago when
Mm-hmm.
everyone else was getting into online
Mm-hmm.
social selling of digital products.
Yeah.
She was in network marketing for a long time before that, but for
Mm-hmm.
digital products, she started about a year ago, like everyone else, and noticed immediately how non-compliant and
Mm-hmm.
how at the alarming rate that people were being brought in under false pretenses and then being taught wrong.
Yeah.
And so she also went down the compliance rabbit hole. She, like me, and she's been doing this a lot longer than me, she saw and learned that she was doing things that she didn't know was wrong. So she decided to uh, buy the academy. So there's a National Association of Advertising Compliance Academy. She went in and she educated herself, and now she's, as a new graduate, she wants to host the summit to teach. And it is going to be co-led by Onyx Singal, who is one of the authors of Don't Say That. And they're going to probably go over the Pentagon of
Mm-hmm.
compliance and in more detail with more examples,
Mm-hmm.
so that people can understand. And it is free.
Yeah.
Um, she was charging a fee, but she changed her mind because she wants as many people as possible to attend. So
Mm-hmm.
go grab it. Go grab it from I have it linked in my store as well. I don't know if you do too, Cami, but
Mm-mm.
like,
No.
just go
I
check it out.
attend these things, but I don't advertise them.
Yeah,
But if I unless I know, and I might talk about like I'm going to the show or something like that. But yeah, I've got your lead magnet, your book of FTC compliance, and then I've also got Onyx book, and I've read through that, and I'm also going to be attending the conference because it's so important. I also noticed very quickly, and I started warning people even on my page the beginning of this year. I'm like, hey, there's a lot of stuff going on. If you want to stay FTC compliant, you are not allowed to be talking about this stuff. Like little hints here and there, I would drop it because I'm like, this is not okay. So anybody who's watching me should know, like, this isn't okay. Like even children's privacy, this is another big thing that they're coming down on.
yeah.
Just FTC, like what was it? Fortnite got sued, I think, for like $275 million
Wow.
because of the private. Yeah, like it's really crazy. And then 245 million went to the consumers because of false stuff. So
Wow.
I mean, I'm so glad my son plays Roblox, I guess. But
Yeah.
I don't know, right? Like, oh
Wow.
man, like it's so crazy. This is happening everywhere.
Wow.
And so it's really, really important right now for people to understand where it's at, because I think FTC today is more heightened than anywhere before. I had actually just read a book and I had shared it with you. What was it called? Selling the Dream, I think it was. And
Yeah.
it was the history of Ponzi schemes. It was so fascinating. Oh my gosh, I read it within one day. I could not put this thing down. It
Wow.
was the best book ever. And I loved listening to the audio, but I actually purchased the book as well because it's just so good to reference. And it talks about the history of like how all of the company names, even like Tupperware, started and how it was incompliant and all the pieces that kind of fall in line with that. So this is nothing new. This has been going on for almost 100-ish years, give or take, right?
Mhm.
So it's not a new thing. It's just more heightened today because we have online and people can flock to that.
Yeah.
So, which means FTC can quickly find things out versus, in the 70s and the 60s and the 50s, you had to do a lot more digging.
Yeah. 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 And I wanted to address one more thing that was brought up recently. Someone asked me, it's like, well, if we get a new president, which is possible, well, we are getting a
Mhm.
new president
Yeah.
in November, how will that change anything, or will that change anything? Because
Mm.
people have talked about how both sides, both Harris and Trump, what they might do to change the FTC, which, you know, the president can do that.
Yeah.
And I'm not an economics expert, so I, you know, lurked on a bunch of pages of people who are, because I was curious about that as well.
Yeah.
I was like, is this all going to change? The stuff that we are talking about is very, very, very unlikely to
Yeah.
change, almost impossible to
Yeah.
change, because both these laws were bipartisan.
Yeah. And
So
they've
the
been,
FTC
and
Act,
I've known about these for at least 20 years at this point, for
yeah,
the like a blanket of it. Like I don't know
yeah,
all the details, but it hasn't changed. It's gonna stay
yeah,
in place.
yeah. So I don't want people to think that, oh, we're getting a new president, so this is going to become obsolete. No, that's not going to happen. There might be some aspects of, you know, the non-compete laws that Supreme Court just blocked, and I can't tell you what all that means. I'm still learning all this myself. There might be some other aspects of how the FTC does business that might change,
Mhm.
but compliance in online marketing is not going to change. The FTC Act was bipartisan, so
Yeah.
it's
Wow.
both sides agree with the rules.
Yeah.
So
And I love that. I love that. I think that's protecting the customers and it's protecting the companies, you know.
mhm.
And I think right now with anybody and everybody can start a business these days so quickly and overnight. Um, people need to be very educated about what's going on. And
Yeah,
unfortunately, we don't learn this stuff in high school. We don't
no.
learn this stuff in college, unfortunately. I never learned about this in college, right? I didn't learn about this until a juice company I had joined started teaching me about it. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't say that. Good to know. Good to
So
know, right?
traditional business degrees don't teach this?
Not much. I don't think
Oh
so. But I don't
my
have
God.
a I don't have a traditional business degree. So I went
Oh,
more the
okay.
safe route.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
So
either.
maybe they do, but I had gone into more of the when I was looking at entrepreneurship and reading things behind me, that's when I started to learn about this little bits and pieces. But
Okay.
still, even what I know does not compare to what you have found in
Right.
months of what's going
Yeah.
on. So I'm
Wow.
so impressed. I'm so, so impressed. And I'm so excited to continue to learn from you and just to see where you go with this, because this is kind of, I think, a new obsession for you as well. And your stories are so good lately, where you're even showing examples of this showing up in your feed. Like, I wish I could just, I probably should screenshot and send you a few too, because I'm like, every day, all day, this is all I get, right? So I used to warn
Yeah.
people when they were in other network marketing companies, like, hey, just so you know, you can't be posting this. And I would get like hated comments back. And I'm like, it's really
People,
true. Like, I swear to God, it's not me. Yeah.
people
Like, if it works
don't
for you, great.
want, they don't want to stop something that works. And that's what
Absolutely.
happened when all those women were brought into the closed door session at Legendary and said, you got to stop doing this. They all of them were like, nope, I'm going to keep doing what I want with my business. And they left. And
Yeah.
some of them talk about like they got fired. I
Hmm.
guess that's technically true, let go, but they were given the
Yeah.
chance to change and they chose not
Yeah.
to.
Like their
That's really,
affiliation got revoked. Like they weren't allowed to be an affiliate with them or something like that,
yeah.
right?
And
Yeah.
some of them have talked about it, but they try to portray it in a light that they're like an unsung hero for
Hmm.
standing up for doing what's right for their business. And then they talk
Wow.
about how the company that they worked for kept the unpaid commissions. So
Mm.
some of them lost tens of thousands of dollars of
Yep.
commissions. And they make it seem like the company was the big bad guy for doing that. But you know why they
Mm-mm.
kept the unpaid commissions? Because
Yep.
they were anticipating a lot of people wanting refunds.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yep. And they weren't compliant. And almost every affiliate agreement that's done legally, even in network marketing, if you join a network marketing company and you sign those documents, you are actually being held against that. If you're not in compliant, they don't owe you a dollar.
Right.
And a lot of people don't think that. They're like, oh, well, I made all this money on product or service or whatever it is. And they think that that should happen, right? And it's not true. It's not true. You broke the rules and the company gets to keep every cent.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
wow.
I've since learned that too. I just have to giggle when I see those reels that they make, trying to make
Hmm.
them some kind of victim or hero. But a lot of people believe it because they just don't know any better. So that's
Yep.
why I'm out here yelling and screaming as loud as I
Mhm.
can, like, hey.
Yeah.
We all need to know better and be better.
Yeah, absolutely. And my experience, I was in one company, it was called CyberWise back in 2006, 7, something like that. They were a phenomenal company, but then we got some new formulators into the company and they started changing the juice up.
Mhm.
And a smaller accounts, we didn't know about all of that because they kept that very locking key, right? Well, we could all start
Mhm.
telling like our customers weren't feeling the same. It was an adaptogenic product, so it was helping your body like adapt to stress and all this other stuff. And people weren't having the same effects. Like it kind of just tasted like cranberry juice. Or we're like, what the heck's going
Oh.
on? And I was
Mhm.
able to actually leave my full time job to be able to go sell this stuff. So this was a huge part of my livelihood.
Yeah.
And I had a huge team and all this stuff. And it came to the point where we all decided to leave the company and move to another company. We went over to Isogenics. And because we were able to talk to
Mhm.
Kathy was the owner of Isogenics at the time. I don't know if she still is, but we were able to talk to them about this situation with their products and where we wanted to make sure that we were being compliant in even the way we promoted it, because you can't promote something, and this is even health and wellness. It's like, oh, well, it'll make you lose weight. If you slap this sticker on, or if you drink this juice, or you do this, and these are the results, you may lose 70 pounds and da da da
Yeah.
da and all this stuff. I mean, it goes so deep, and there's
Mhm.
so many people online today, and even offline that just don't know. So I'm really excited for you to continue to share what you're finding out. And I love just having you on here. So thank you so much for your time today, because this is good
Yeah.
stuff. It's
Thank you,
juicy. I know that.
Tammy. Thank you,
Yeah.
Tammy. And
We did
stay
have
tuned
one
because
question.
I have big plans.
I'm so excited for you.
I'm gonna get certified as a compliance expert. Like there's an actual certifications for it. So stay tuned for that.
Ooh, that's
I
very
found my
exciting.
calling for sure.
Yeah. I think so. I think so. And I think that that's the thing, is that there's so much of what makes you passionate about it. That's what makes everybody else like, like I was attracted to your account right away because it was so, you were spilling, you were spilling the secrets, right? You were
Hmm.
exposing all the things,
Hmm.
and there was no fluff behind it. And I was like, yes,
Hmm.
keep doing that, because people need
Hmm.
to see this, right? Like I really was excited about that. And so one question that we did receive was, is FTC compliance applicable to most and all small businesses who are marketing online? And so I want to address this really quick, because this is that specific question. FTC compliance is for online, offline. If you are a citizen of this country, of the United States, or if you are selling products to people in this state as well, even if you're a United States citizen and you live in another country and you have clients or customers here in the United States, yes, FTC, you got to be compliant. They will come
Yep.
after you. No matter if you're making $1 or if you're making 240 million, they don't care.
Yeah,
So,
they don't care. That's one of the myths that is busted in the Don't Say That book.
yeah.
There are so many smaller companies. Onik talks about how one guy, he had to settle a $12,000 lawsuit from the FTC by giving them his watch. One other guy had to sell his minivan. They will go after. It doesn't matter if it does not matter
Yeah,
how
it's
much
like
money
the
you're making.
DEA of business.
Yeah,
It's
kind of.
just what
Yeah.
it is,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, well, this is wonderful. Thank you so much. I hope that we get to do this again soon.
I would
And
love
I
to.
know this is your first live, so
Yeah,
congratulations. You've done it.
I've done
Very
it.
fun. Yay.
Thank you,
All right,
Tammy.
my dear. Thank you so much for your time. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay. Bye.